Shalom, Kahalo Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakodash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push in the word and truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson about have your bags packed. Okay? Basically, have your bags packed and be ready to trust in the Lord with all thine heart, which is your mind, and lean not unto your own understanding. Okay, so this is 2 Ezra 16 and 40. We'll start at 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come up. So sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay, so when you understand this, all right, this is when the shit goes down. Okay, this is basically saying the polycrisis. All right, not Esau's polycrisis, but Yahweh Shem Shai's polycrisis. Okay, so it's basically time to roll out, get the hell up out of there. Okay, so you have to have your bag packed. What bag? You need a rucksack, what some of you call a backpack, a rugged one. You need a couple of ponchos. Okay, and I mean, you don't need nothing except for Yahweh Shem Shai, but it would help. Okay, to have a couple of ponchos from the army surplus. Go in and ask, go to the army surplus and say, do you have ponchos? Get two, and then get you some, what they call a paracord, parachute cord, okay? So that you can tie those ponchos and make a little covering. Use the paracord to tie the ponchos over the tree to make you a little cover, right? One poncho on the ground, one poncho above you. Make a little tent, so to speak. Okay, get you a good knife and a rucksack, right? You at least got to have those things to keep warm. Those of you that got a little family, you got a woman and a child, you gotta be able to, when you walk from one spot to the next. Okay, and I'm just touching on it real quick. All right. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, the polycrisis, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. All hell done broke loose. Okay, no money. Now, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. You're at war, you're on the battlefield. Okay? You got your pack, you got your ponchos, you got your water. Okay? And you set off. You get the hell up out of there. And in those evils, what evils? Jacob's trouble. Be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You got to go. Get the hell out of there. He that selleth, okay, this goes into the MOTB because you won't be able to buy or sell. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. Get the hell out of there. And he that buyeth, as one that will lose. No buying and selling. You got to depend upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We could get this in Revelation. We'll do that at the end. Okay? Because in order to participate in society, you will have to get that, you have to do the CBDC, which is the C hit, which is the MOTB. And this is telling you that's not an option. You got to get out of there. And you have to trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Okay? No buying, no selling. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to lose. All right? He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, meaning you shall own nothing and be happy. Okay? That applies to us. We will own nothing and be happy. Walk away. You got to walk, fleeth away from that. Okay? And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. Okay? That time is gone. All right? He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Okay? So that time, guess what? It's here. All right? 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to get you a good bag. All right? And when you leave, okay, you pretty much want to put your phone down. All right? You won't need it. Otherwise, they'll track you. All right? Get you a two-way, right? And coordinate with your brothers on how to communicate with the two-way. That's a lot safer than taking a tracking device, which is your phone, with you. So get that in your head right now. Get ready to do what? Right? First, understand that you're in the middle of the war. And this battle is going to be brutal. And in those evils, in those bad times, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So you got to put that strap on that pack and roll out. Okay? It's not going to be safe in the city. All right? Let's watch this guy right here, Poplar. Okay? The Poplar report 1 hour ago. He's going into the Kenyan president, right? Letting you know, giving you the heads up. Hey, and in those evils, what evils? Okay? And a lot of brothers are making a lesson on Kenyan president right now. Let's see what old Poplar here has to say. Poplar preparedness is what this, I think it used to be Poplar preparedness, but anyway, now it's the report. But hey, it behooves you to be ready, to be even as a pilgrim. It's that time. Guess what? It's that time. 2 weeks.
President William Ruto of Kenya, which I just got back from, has just said that he expects the US dollar to drop in the next couple of weeks.
There it is. Okay? And when that happens, all hell is going to break loose. They're going to force you, they can take your money. What money you think you have in the bank, they're going to take it. They have to. And then they're going to implement the CBDC, which is the MOTB, which is the C-HIP, and force you. Okay? They're going to force the issue, right? And we're going to be in the hour of temptation, and there will be no more buying and selling. Okay? Not for us. All right? Because we're going to say no. What do?
How does he know that the dollar is going to drop in value? How could he possibly know this? Is this just clickbait? Is this just a empty warning, or maybe someone misquoting him? That is the question that we're going to be asking this morning. And the situation is, it's actually not clickbait. The Kenyan government has decided to basically start dumping US dollars, and he's urging other people inside his country to start dumping US dollars as well. This is a major deal with Saudi Arabia that is going to impact the US dollar, and not just impact it directly, but also this is opening up questions to how far this will ripple out. The warning has been that we're going to stop seeing Saudi Arabia exclusively receiving payment in US dollars and is going to start receiving payment in other currencies, particularly.
Now, if you understand the petrodollar, okay, that's huge. All right. The only reason the dollar has any value at this point is because it's the world reserve currency and of the petrodollar. So let him continue.
Particularly Chinese renminbi, right? We're considering the fact that if other countries can purchase oil from Saudi Arabia using their local currencies, that's a big problem, because that's the only thing that backs, in true form, the United States dollar. Let's jump into it, folks. This video is brought to you by Genesis Gold. As we see the dollar not being a great safe haven, and as we're seeing other things collapsing out there, historically speaking, precious metals, or real money, silver, gold, platinum, are the only things that are really actually safe out there. If you want to move your retirement funds,
it's not safe out there, okay? So pay no attention to this sales pitch, all Right? The only thing that's safe out there is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? So bet on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and don't bet. You got to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with all your heart and lean not unto nothing else. Period. Okay? Because you're going to die anyway. Anything other than that, you're going to die anyway. All right? So get your mind right.
Over into real physical metals, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team down at Genesis Gold Group. You can find them down in the description down below. But let's hear what the president of Kenya has said. He said basically that the individuals in his country that are hoarding U.S. dollars. Why are they hoarding U.S. dollars? Because they're afraid that the Kenyan government is going to run out of U.S. dollars and they're going to have to purchase things themselves. What the Kenyan government has done is has signed a treaty, basically an agreement with Saudi Arabia for a line of credit that they're going to purchase 30% of the oil that the country of Kenya needs, and they are going to then sell all this oil to the people of Kenya in Kenyan shillings. So basically all the local businesses and everything like that, instead of having to fork out dollars, are going to be able to fork out Kenyan shillings. It's a way to prop up their currency, and as well as it is basically a way to kind of catch off guard everyone who's been hoarding dollars and has been destabilizing the currency a bit. So he's doing a sharp turn that basically catches the people who are kind of undermining the currency of the Kenyan shilling, and he's going to catch them, with kind of red-handed, so to speak.
So what does this mean for people that must deal in dollars? It's called the American dollar. Here we are in Babylon the Great. Okay. What does that mean for us when the dollar just completely bottoms out and it's totally worthless? Well, it's not like they don't have a solution to that. They do have a solution. It's called central bank digital currency. Right? And when you understand what that is, that's something that we don't get into, not as men of the Lord. So what are you going to do? All right, that time has come. All right? Everybody's walking away from the dollar. The dollar has no value anymore. It's that time. It's time for the switch over. Okay? So, is he going to come with any solutions? Let's hear what he said.
So this is going to force them to sell their dollars now, or they're going to be forced to sell their dollars in the coming weeks, basically as they've artificially inflated the cost of U.S. dollars in that local area against the shilling. So you could either see that as they've artificially depressed the price of the shilling, or basically they've artificially inflated the
So what is this going to cause? Get to the point.
Price of the dollar. Probably more depressing the price of the shilling. So how much of an impact is this really going to have? Now, Kenya is not a huge economy out there. This is not one of our biggest trading partners. But you got to remember that third world countries like Kenya are sitting on very large stacks of cash because they have to basically back up their currencies with pallets full of U.S. dollars. They literally have pallets full of U.S. dollars sitting in vaults. They have foreign exchange reserves of 6.56 billion U.S. dollars.
Okay, so good enough. He's not going to come with it. He's just kind of talking around the issue here. So let me give him one chance. I'm going to speed up here and see how does that affect Americans? Come on.
Losing its value significantly.
What does that
We're
mean?
going to see lots and lots of countries start unloading more and more dollars, which means you're going to see inflation spike. As it goes up, it's going to spike faster. Now, we have the Federal Reserve printing trillions of dollars, $500 billion in the last 2 weeks, and giving it to banks. Banks are initiating new credit in order to pull more cash so that they can then cover their deposits and everything like that. That's effectively generating more currency in the system. All these moves are dramatically increasing the amount of currency in the system that is going to spike inflation. The prices that you're seeing at your store shelves are going to be going up because of some of these news items. You're going to see the price of everything go up. The value of your hard-earned dollar is going to drop more and more and more. And as it drops, you're going to see it's going to spiral faster and faster. This is what has happened in the inflationary places like Venezuela, Zimbabwe. What's happening in places like the Weimar Republic back in the day.
In third world countries, that's what you're saying.
We start looking at all these different locations that have seen their currency spiral out of control. Argentina, right? As it starts going, it accelerates faster and faster and faster. Usually there's this big dip sort of at first where things kind of, not really a dip, but it levels off for just a little bit. And then it starts accelerating again. We've just gone over that flat spot, sort of, where inflation's building up behind the scenes, but it was not being felt as readily. Last summer, you were seeing it everywhere. Going into the fall, it was just on the front of your mind. Christmas season and this winter, things have kind of leveled off just a little bit. But we're seeing all the producers, the suppliers behind the scenes. We're seeing inflation picking up behind the scenes. And that is about to really smack us right between the eyes. And we're seeing, at the same time, we're seeing foreign countries are starting to dump the US dollar.
And what's the solution? Central bank digital currency. They have a solution ready. Okay. But that solution is not for us. So it's time for us to get your head right about be even as a pilgrim.
This is a serious moment, a serious situation out there. How can you protect yourself? Well, if you live in the United States, you're kind of toast. That's just basically the sum of it. But you holding hard assets, assets that are not dollars, so real estate, even machinery, tools, food supplies, anything that's not perishable, that has intrinsic value, even precious metals have that. Now, are collectibles going to be as useful and as helpful? The problem with those is that if everyone else is losing purchasing power significantly, they may have a hard time being able to afford your collectible or your art. There might.
And this guy calls himself a pastor too. He's not once has he said anything spiritual. So we'll end this right here. All right, we'll get back to what's actually going on here. All right, let's get let us get Matthew. Okay, because you got to go. All right, Matthew 24. All right, and we'll go to. Slocky, bear with me. Right here. Okay. Let's get Matthew 24:16. Then let them which be in Judea, right? We know what that is. In the hood, basically, where the Jews are, where the Jews live. What is that? That's the ghetto. But let them that be in Judea flee into the mountains. Okay? You got to be even as pilgrims. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Don't go back. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. You understand? And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. Thank Yahweh Shemel Shai that we just got into the spring. So in 2 weeks, what? It's going to be getting warmer. Neither on the Sabbath day. Okay? You get that instruction? Oh, but that was talking about then. Yeah, it was talking about then. But guess what? You don't want to be in the city when all hell breaks loose. All right? You don't. You don't want to be in the city. Do what? Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Okay? Let him which is on the housetop, right? On your on the what do they call it up there when you go up to the terrace or whatever, not come down to take anything out of his house. Get out of there. Neither let him which is in the field, right, out there, don't go back to the city to get your clothes. Okay. All right. Now there are going to be some people that have to stay. You can't flee, right? And you gotta, have some awesome faith. Trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai with all your heart. All right. Because guess what's going to be going on in the city? All right. Number one, you got to eat. Everybody's got to eat. So they're going to be going house to house, right? Rifling. And then when they lock it down with martial law, what are they going to, are they going to lock down the mountains? Those that have fled into the mountains? No, they're going to lock down the cities. They're going to try to establish the 15-minute city where you're forced to do everything by the book, which is the CBDC, programmable money, and the whole thing. All right? You got to get out of there. All right? If you stay in the city, you're going to be forced into the CBDC or into the camp, the concentration, the C camps. Okay? So get out of there. All right? Let's get 13 real quick. And just say no. All right? Here's where we are. Okay, all of this is coinciding. Okay? We're going to move from one system straight into the other. They held an emergency meeting last Friday. Janet Yellen, right? Janet Yeti. And the emergency meeting was about the seamless transition from the dollar into the CBDC. Understand that. This Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in the right hand or in their foreheads. This is where it's going. Okay? This is called the CBDC. Okay? And that no man might buy or sell. You got to get that out of your system. Save that he had the mark, Salah, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the Most High is going to feed you. The Most High is going to make sure you got water. The Most High is going to take care of you like he takes care of the birds. Okay? The animals. Right? And you have to have faith in them. All right? There's consequences for moving forward with that thing. Right? Here's one. Revelation 14 and 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same, shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shemel Shai, or Yahweh Shai. All right? Don't do it. All right. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the charagma of his name. Okay? Don't do it. All right? You got to make it to the other side. What is the other side? Right here. You got to get it right in your head. You got to have the mark of exemption on you, right? So that you'll the angels are going to be with you. All right. Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. That means you didn't sell out and go get that charagma. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That's where you want to be right there. All right. So, hey, it's go time. Where's that? Let's see if I can find this image. Here's where you want to be. Salakia, bear with me. See if I can find it. There, is that it? This one. This will be the thumbnail for this lesson right here. Look, here you are. There you are. You see this? Let's go back to the top. 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Right here. This is where you want to be in that day. You see the beam coming down? Beam up those pilgrims. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect will edify you, brothers and sisters. With that, I'm going to say shalom.